Good day, I am Maria Teresa Mangabat and I will be presenting my thesis proposal entitled Communication Strategies of the Local Government Unit of Science City of Muñoz in Localizing the Sustainable Development Goals. So just to give a background and rationale of the study, Philippines is identified as one of the first members of the United Nations. And as part of its first members, Philippines supports the mandates of the organization, especially in realizing its banner program. One of its banner program is the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is to be achieved by year 2030. So, Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, is the continuation of the Millennium Development Goals, which was set year 2000 to be achieved year 2000 to 2015. What makes it different from MDGs is that SDGs is the result of the 8 million survey conducted all over the world to identify the needs of different countries. So this set of goals is more personal and more relevant than MDGs because these 17 SDGs are the needs of the country to be achieved with different indicators and targets for a particular country. So in the Philippines, LGU plays an integral part in ensuring that this program is being localized and realized by their constituents to ensure its achievement. We all know that LGU is the frontline services of the government. So as the key player in delivering services to the community, the LGU also holds a role or an important role in ensuring that all the people in the community knows the SDGs and of course take part in the achievement of that goal. So my study proposed to achieve the following objective. First, to identify the communication strategies employed by LGU in the localization of SDGs and to document the best practices of that particular LGU. So if I identified the Science City of Muñoz, and to give you a background, Science City of Muñoz is the only science city in the Philippines, second to Asia. So it really is a unique city wherein it is home to different research and development agencies. So I chose Science City of Muñoz because of its characteristics being home to R&D and of course serving different clientele. So Nueva Ecija is known as the rice granary of the Philippines, and I believe it could be a main contributor to the achievement of some of the SDGs that are included. Of course, some of the goals in the United Nations program. So specifically, I want to describe the social demographic profile of the respondents, which in case is the LGU, to determine the communication strategies employed by the LGU, and to identify the problems encountered by the LGU in the implementation. With the hope, of course, of duplicating the best practices and of course how did they address the problems they encountered so that other cities also or municipalities can make use of that as their reference or guide. For the methodology, I will conduct a key informant interview with key officials of LGU involved in the localization. So basically, this could be their planning officers, their chief offices, of course, the city mayor, and the likes. Proper coordination with the office of the city mayor and key officials with their interview schedule will be ensured by the researcher. And I will also utilize secondary data such as annual reports that could support how did they implemented SDGs and of course the communication strategies used in particular to that activity. For the conceptual framework, I will use the diffusion of innovation theory in a close relation to the communication accommodation theory. Diffusion of innovation is known as a theory that explains how a particular innovation is being disseminated and related to a wider audience. While communication accommodation is known as a theory that explains how organization or a system works toward a particular element, and that is, in this case, the Sustainable Development Goals. So with that, I hope to bring, or of course, at least to document the best practices, the problems they encountered, and use this as a reference for other municipalities if given the same background, being agricultural in nature and the like. So with that, I hope to achieve a particular study that could help or provide to generate new knowledge in relation to the Sustainable Development Goals, and in the end, contribute to the overall achievement of the study.